Rumors and speculations, guys. This is Chris Fagan, your executive producer of Talking Through the Medias, and this is a spoiler-filled little mini review of Batman versus Superman. So if you don't want to be spoiled, leave now, stop, come back to this later after you see Batman versus Superman, because at 3, that's going to happen. 2, I'm going to knock you out with a bunch of spoilers. 1, here we go. So I saw Batman versus Superman with Sean, and I know about the mixed reviews, and I know people are kind of upset about it. It's just split down the middle. People either love it, people are hating on it. And I'm not seeing that many reviews in the middle. I know what Rotten Tomatoes is saying, 38%. It doesn't deserve that low of a rating. And the people's reviews are 74, 75. That's more like it. Critics are just, I don't know, I feel like critics are just, they're just in their own asses about it because it's a Superman movie, and they just, I think they're still bringing their whole Christopher Reeves thing into it. The fact that Superman had to kill in Man of Steel, they're bringing that into it. I mean, Superman literally severed ties with Krypton, literally by snapping Zod's neck to save that family. That family represented Earth. He at that moment became Superman. No, the Earth is under his protection. It's his home. That family represented Earth and all of us. He disconnected himself from Krypton to save the Earth. That was what that was, in my opinion. So just people just hating on it just for all these BS reasons. Why couldn't he point his head in another direction? He technically did point his head in another direction when he snapped the neck. Yeah, that was a different direction, all right. He did. Hey, look that way. Stop it. But that's neither here nor there. Now let's get back into it. Now, we learned in Batman vs. Superman that Bruce Wayne was there in Metropolis when it was all going down. That building where Zod first learned to use his lasers, that was a Wayne building. He broke it down. Batman, this was, to me, was a Batman movie. I feel like it was heavy Batman, and for a good reason. I think Man of Steel, and that's probably the reason why it's called Batman versus Superman. Dawn of Justice. Batman's name is first for a reason. And versus, it's always the person that has the complaint, that has the problem with somebody else, their name is put first. The people versus Larry Flint or whatever, we're bringing the fight to you. That's why it's bad. But to me, this is the timeline. This is a Superman movie. It's a Batman heavy movie. So to me, it's a Batman movie, because I think Batman's almost got just as much screen time as Superman. It's pretty even-handed. But I think it's a Batman story, because we already knew what happened in Man of Steel. And now we got to learn why Batman is upset about all that. And I feel like it's a Batman movie. I feel like we just had a Batman movie in this universe. Because everything with Batman was amazing. Ben Affleck is, to me, the quintessential Batman as far as the way he moves, the way he fights, the grapplings, the way he swings. It was like a horror movie. When you first see Batman, the way he's in the shadows, the way the light kind of goes on, you see the eyes, you kind of see him in the dark, and the way he moves when a shotgun is being fired at him by a police officer who's freaking out, like pissing his pants. He sees Batman. He sees this guy. He's tied up. He knows that the demon is in there, because the victims that were just saved are saying that, like, we're free, but we're not getting out of this cage. They're in a cage, like a bunch of little ladies, Asian ladies in the cage. They were like, we're free, it's unlocked, but we're not leaving because the demon is still out there. Until he goes, we're not getting out of here. He's out there. The cop got the shotgun, got the flashlight. He pans over, you kind of see him behind him, like a horror movie. He's like right there. He's like, he's behind you. He's in the room. And the second he sees him, he just freaks out. Blue, 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 blue. And the way Batman moves was amazing. Superman dealing with the fact that he has to answer for, what happened in Metropolis. People are upset with him. We get caught up. That senator was amazing. We get caught up in what he can do. We're not asking what he should do. That's fine. That was very well thought of. You got to see Lex Luthor. People are saying that Michael Rosenbaum, the guy who played Lex in Smallville, should have taken his role. I could see it. I would have liked it, but it's time to move on from Smallville. People, let it go. He was the best Lex Luthor we've ever had. But he's not gonna. They're not gonna go backwards. They're not gonna confuse us by recasting him as Lex Luthor. Plus, he says he doesn't want to shave his head anymore. He wouldn't have done it. But for the he would have done it. Lex, I didn't like at first until he became Lex. When he was the Lex that he had to be for us all to see, he's a young guy. So yeah, of course he's gonna be playing basketball. He's gonna be, but the second that door closed, he wasn't playing around anymore. The red capes are coming. That was Lex Luthor. He was not messing around. There was a line he said to the senator, to Superman. If you talk about God, and it's funny because we're in a religious weekend right now. You got an all-powerful God who loves us. Then why doesn't God, stop the children from being killed or stop those aliens from coming? Why, if he's all-powerful, if he could just save us like that, why didn't God save us? If he can, if he's supposed to be so good, why didn't he save us? Why didn't God come down and stop? And he's talking about Superman technically. You have all this power and you couldn't save all those people. It was kind of messed up the way he was saying it too. So though in Lex's mind, if I can't remember the line, but if God is all good, if you're all good, then you can't be all powerful because you didn't stop it. So you must not be all powerful. But if you are all powerful, then you can't be all good. So it's in Lex's mind. You're damned if you do it, you're damned if you don't. Either you're all good, you're a good, pure heart, and you just are so weak you can't really save us, so we shouldn't depend on you. Or you do have all the power in the world to save the world, and you just choose not to. It was an epic line. Another thing that, so I kind of like Lex Luthor. Another thing that kind of irked me about this was the dreams that Batman was getting. The fact that he was seeing Doomsday, this post-apocalyptic stuff, and I didn't get it. I'm like, how the hell is Batman's dreams so detailed? He's never met Doomsday. These demon creatures are flying around from planet Doomsday and from planet Apocalypse and from Doomsday. How does he know about this stuff? And then something that Schnepp said on Collider Heroes finally made it click. Flash. There's a scene where this guy is coming out like in a red mask, like he's coming out through this portal. When Bruce Wayne is sleeping, he wakes him up and he's like, Bruce, you were right. Lois is the key. Bruce, don't do it. Or whatever the warning is. Bruce. And like, who the hell was that? I'm thinking it was Nightwing. Like he was feeling guilty about Nightwing again. It was Flash. Now you get to see Flash later on, but it was Flash. And if you watch the TV show, it makes sense. He can jump through portals, he can jump through time and stuff. So of course he must have ran back and he's giving Bruce these dreams and these visions and trying to communicate with Bruce. Probably to not kill Superman because they don't do it. Like, don't do it! Blah, blah, blah. Or you were right, or whatever the hell the message was. But if you don't know about these things, or if you don't deduce that that's Flash, that whole scene's going to confuse you. It confused me until he brought up Flash can jump through. Then it all came together. It made sense. The whole thing made sense. But if you are just coming off of Man of Steel and you don't know about these things, these what Flash can do and all this stuff, it doesn't make a damn bit of sense at all. And it'll make you mad. And it's too much to explain. And they went in directions I didn't think they were going to go. But the second I knew that, I was like, oh, now it's an awesome movie. Now it makes sense. But it's going to confuse the hell out of you if you don't know about what Flash can do and all that stuff. Because now it's going to feel like it was force-fed. Because Wonder Woman, awesome job. She did a great job. They only gave you just enough of what you needed to know about that you know the Wonder Woman movie is going to be awesome. But the one thing I didn't like was how when she stole the file from Lex Luthor that Bruce Wayne was trying to steal to learn what Lex was up to, she steals it, borrows it, gives it back, but she clicks on the files and you got footage of Flash, who looks like a homeless guy, Cyborg, which was weird, didn't make any sense, Aquaman, which was awesome, but it was all like click, 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 little click, little click, little click, and that was it. And the thing with Cyborg was the most displaced clip. because it was his father. You don't even know who this guy is. The dude from Terminator. The guy. If you're watching Scandal, it's Olivia Pope's father. You know, it's almost like Terminator again. Like he's creating a cyborg and a machine, a man, and blah blah blah, and he's creating Cyborg and stuff. It's the one clip that's kind of displaced. But it's the fact that you click, oh, Flash. That's what it is, and it even has the Flash symbol on the thumbnail. Like it's like Lex Luthor has this. Like Lex Luthor knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. Lex Luthor knows that Superman. He knows who the Flash is. He knows who Wonder Woman is. He knows all these things. The greatest intellect, one of the smartest minds on Earth in the DC universe, if not the smartest human in the world. And he knows all these things. People are like, well, then why doesn't he tell? Well, you know, knowledge is power. If the government knows, if the government finds out, and then if everybody knows, then it takes power away from him. Then if Lex Luthor kills a reporter from Kansas for no reason, it doesn't make any sense. And good, it doesn't have to make sense, but he knows why. But if everybody knew, then everybody would come after him, and it would interfere with what he wants to do. So it makes sense that a villain like as smart as him wouldn't tell. He would use it to his advantage. Need to know basis, just like the government would. Very smart, but it's hard for people. You know, we can't deduce that, because if I found out who Batman was, I'm telling everybody. I'm just because I'm not smart. I'm stupid. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the resources. But that explains that kind of. But it doesn't really explain it. All you find out he knows, and you're feeling like you know you would tell. Like, well, why the hell doesn't he tell anybody? Plead insanity after you get caught doing what you do. So that kind of throws you off. Then we'll lead up to when then Lex Luthor, you know, he uses his intelligence to sneak into this crashed spaceship and take it over to create Doomsday and whatnot. And at first I'm thinking, okay, this is all leading to Darkseid and Apocalypse. Then I figured, no, it's not. It's not. That's the end game. He is probably the ultimate mastermind. But that ship that crashed on Earth for Man of Steel, Lex perverts. He takes it over at Krypton, and he's using his blood, merging it with Zod, and he creates Doomsday. And the ship even tells him, hey, Krypton law says you're not supposed to do these abominations. And then Lex is like, and where's Krypton? Oh, it's destroyed. Yes, right. So let's proceed then. Stop wasting my damn time with these damn warnings. Krypton law doesn't exist anymore. This is Earth, bitch. And he pretty much takes over there. So who knows what everything Lex has done with that? He was given access to it. Who knows what he's done with it? And at first I thought it was leading all the way up to Darkseid, the main villain Darkseid. But no, I'm thinking now that ship is harboring, because of Lex's interference with it, his perversion into it. Because at the end of the movie, when Lex finally gets taken down, he says, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. The bell has already been rung and it can't be unrung. It's coming. He did something. I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. Is it like Thanos from Marvel where you know, he's coming, he's the big puppet master? No, maybe. But the way he was saying he's coming, the bell has been rung and it can't be unrung. That makes it sound like Lex did something. I think Lex, because the ship tells Lex, this ship has the knowledge of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of different worlds, and we only have 30% of power. So obviously Lex backed it up in a LexCorp or an Apple computer and did something to gain. He said, tell me everything. He took all of that knowledge, because Lex loves to have knowledge, and so does Brainiac. And that's where I'm going with this. I think Lex did something to that Kryptonian ship's computer, perverted it, and Brainiac is now self-aware, or now more self-aware with Lex's crazy stuff encoded into it. And I think Lex did something to that ship and has created Brainiac. And I think that's where where it's going later. And which opens the door to, which leads to the next super villain, which leads to Doomsday, which leads to Darkseid and all this other stuff. And I think that's where that's going. And it's so jam-packed into a 2-hour and 30-minute movie. It's so hard to figure out. If you don't already come in knowing these things, it's so confusing. Who the hell is he talking about? What the hell was up with Wonder Woman finding the clicking on this? It's so dumb when you first see it and you don't really know what the hell you're looking at. But if you kind of know all these things, if you turn your brain off, then you're like, this movie is awesome. If you want to know what's going on and why this has to make sense and what's going on, but I kind of don't know the comic book backstory, you're going to be like, this movie sucked. This movie will have bad reviews, but when they finally finish telling their story, or when the story becomes more clear, the Justice League and Brainiac coming and what Flash was able to do and why, and then you go back and you look at Batman versus Superman, then that epiphany, the epiphany that I think that I had, I think I'm on the right path now, on what they were trying to do and tell us, but it was too complicated, the pacing was wrong. But once the picture is clear, people that gave it a bad review are gonna go back and say, oh, that's what he was still trying to do. And then I think those reviews are gonna change. But we'll see. Diana clicking on those files and learning about Aquaman, Flash, and all that could have been a Marvel end credit thing. But they didn't decide to do that, I guess. And then with the fight with, at the end, Wonder Woman, I guess I said, did a great job. She's fighting Doomsday, and she's laughing, she's loving the war. That's what I want to see. I wanted to see a battle. Good form. Oh, I wanted to see that kind of Wonder Woman. Like, oh yeah, you want to fight, motherfucker? That's what I like. And they gave us that, so I'm very excited about Wonder Woman. Batman, this was a Batman movie. Great. Superman did a great. I'm going to leave one of my thoughts about Superman when I talk with Sean. And I'm going to end it on that. Part 2 is coming. Me, Sean, we're going to talk about this later. What did you think? Or where are you? Are you split? Are you loving it? You hate it? Were you disappointed? Now that I explained a few things that I learned, did I change your mind? Send me a comment. Hit the like button. Remember our contest. Every 100 subscriber, we're going to activate free tickets. We're giving away free tickets to see Civil War. Subscribe here. And as always, let's keep talking about it. This is exciting. Let's keep talking about it. Peace.